Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cow Chip Bingo 2021. We are so excited to get started with you, and we are going to in just a few moments. First, I want to thank some of our sponsors, Jim and Terry Parrish of Coldwell Banker, Culver Duck, and TJ21 Media Company. Thank you so much for all you've done to support this event and Seed to Feed. We are so excited for this event, and we will get back to you soon. Welcome back to Cow Chip Bingo. I'm here with our host, Carl Stutzman. Carl, thanks for being here.
You know, Gabby, first of all, it is great to meet you. It is great to support Seed to Feed. I have to admit that when I got the phone call about hosting this particular event, I did not know whether or not I should be offended that I was the first person that they called to talk about a cow doing its business in a field, but nonetheless, I am very happy to be here. I love your organization. You guys do great stuff, and I'm super excited about today's event.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. So I figured now's a good question as we're getting started to talk to you a little bit about it. You know, you gave us a nice intro there. You're going to be out in the field with me, wandering around, watching everything. So I'm going to start off with the easy question. By now, someone who's watching us has stumbled onto this video on accident and has no idea what's going on. So let's start there. What is Seed to Feed and what is Cow Chip Bingo?
Oh, wow. Okay, so first of all, Cow Chip Bingo is a fundraiser that we are doing where we have made a pasture into a bingo board with 250 squares, as you can see here. And then we sold those squares for $50 a piece. And now we are releasing cows, 4 to be exact, 2 calves and 2 moms, and they're going to go onto the field. And the first 3 drops, cow chips, you can read between the lines, are going to be our winners. So the first prize is $1,500 for the first drop. Second is $750, and the third is $300.
I would be lying if I said I had not been staying up at night thinking of different ways to say drop without getting myself in trouble with the people watching at home. So let's talk about Seed to Feed a little bit, the organization, part of Church Community Services. You guys do a lot of great work, and it's something that has been growing a lot over the last few years.
Yeah, so this year actually marks our 10-year anniversary, and I don't want to get into too much detail about the beginnings because Kurt Bullard, our co-founder of Seed to Feed, is going to talk about that later. But we focus on fighting food insecurity in Elkhart County, and we do that by providing food access, healthy food options to people in need. So we do that with partnership with Church Community Services, their food pantry. This year we provided about 90,000 pounds of produce, freshly grown here by volunteer-led gardens. And in the last 10 years, we provided over 1 million pounds of produce. And it has been an awesome thing to be able to support the community in that way. We've also just recently developed an educational program called Teen Growers, where we teach high school students how to grow their own food and food for their community.
We'll talk about that in a second here. Let's go back to the farms and the amount produced. A lot of what's enabled you guys to give as much food as you have, as you've seriously expanded the number of gardens that you are growing right now.
Yeah. So we started with 2 in 2011, and we currently have 22.
Wow.
A variety of production gardens that grow produce specifically for the food pantry. We also have community learning sharing gardens that are for anyone in the community that needs food to come and just pick themselves. And then we also have partner gardens, which are organizations such as Wellfield Botanical Gardens. Part of what they grow, they then harvest and bring to our food pantry.
The concept of a community garden is something that, foundationally has been part of our country for a long time, and it's starting to make a comeback. You guys seem like you're doing a really good job making that happen.
Oh, thank you. It's not just important to be able to build or bring food to people, but it's important for people to feel connected to where their food comes from and to each other. It's amazing to see people of different walks of life just working together in a garden.
Well, Gabby, we will talk to you again here in a little bit. We've got Kurt Bullard, who's going to be coming up here in just a second. Thank you for everything. For the people watching at home, any messages? Do you have any encouragement for the folks who want to support Seed to Feed?
Oh, absolutely. But first, let's. I am rooting for each one of your squares. That you're definitely going to be the one for sure.
No, you are not a big fan of any of the 250. You don't have a lucky number you're hoping for?
13 is my lucky number.
13 is your lucky number. Okay, well, thank you, Gabby, very much. I know we've got Kurt waiting here behind you, too. So
Okay.
We'll talk to you again here in a little bit. Thank you. And Kurt Bullard is going to be joining us now, as Gabby mentioned, co-founder Seed to Feed, owner of Beth and Kurt Bullard Centennial Farm, and a member of the advisory board. Kurt, it's great to have you here. The Bullard name is one that anyone who's been around Elkhart County for more than 5 seconds knows pretty well. It's got to be an interesting event to host every year, having your cows out and playing cow chip bingo.
It's been fun.
Yeah. So tell us about, we'll start where Gabby suggested, the beginning of Seed to Feed. From where you were to where you are now, what's the story?
I'm actually kind of shocked that it's lasted 10 years, but that's a direct result of having a lot of good coordinators and a lot of good people involved, I think. Bert Culver and I both had the same idea within like 24 hours of each other that we should be providing fresh produce to food pantry people that are in need. And when we first, we came from 2 different directions, and I think the first person that had the idea, they're like, yeah, that'll never happen, bringing fresh produce, because there can't be a handful of pantries that are bringing fresh produce in daily.
Yeah, that's hard.
To food pantries, and it's all in Elkhart County. But then when Bert also came up with the same idea, Rod Robertson was the director at that time, and then he got us together and goes, you know what, maybe we ought to investigate this a little bit. So I was like everybody else, like when you have a food pantry drive, you go to the cupboard and say, what haven't we used in 6 months, and what's out of date, and all those things, and that's what you sent to the food pantry. But that's not what should happen.
Yeah.
So that's why the fresh produce idea came in head.
Well, there's a big national conversation having it. Most people don't realize that individuals that are receiving food or food stamps from the government, that runs through the agriculture department. And there's been a big move amongst farmers to start including fresh produce in what individuals are getting. And that conversation started on a very small level in communities like ours. Programs like Seed to Feed are part of what's pushing that conversation.
One of the nice things I think about Seed to Feed is that the volunteer base is in Elkhart County, the produce is raised in Elkhart County, the people that are receiving the produce are in Elkhart County, the donors in Elkhart County. It's all right here locally based. We're all helping each other.
I love it. Well, let's talk about what's happening today, and we're going to start with the cows. As I understand it, they're your cows. You know them quite well. You have 2 adult cows and 2 calves that are going to be going out. So I'm going to ask you to describe the roster for us today. Who's going to be out in the field?
We've got Lady, who was the superstar last year. We just had 1 pair last year, but it's expanded this year to more prizes, more chips, more bingo squares, pretty much expanded everything. And then we also have Peace, and they had September, 3rd week of September calves, so those calves right now are about 6 weeks old.
Oh, okay.
And so we got 4 individuals that are superstars in this event, and the first 3 chips
First 3 chips
will be winners.
Okay, now a breed of
Angus.
the cows,
They're
Angus
purebred
cows,
Angus.
are they more or less likely to drop than other breeds of cows? Have you done research into this?
I have not.
Okay.
I've had a lot of people ask questions how long this is going to take. it's pretty much up to them.
I was told to dress warm because we could be outside for upwards of 3 hours today watching these cows.
I'm pretty sure it'll happen before Wednesday.
It'll happen before Wednesday. Well, that is certainly good. And then one final note for you. Anything you want to tell people about Seed to Feed, about any of the organizations that you're a part of?
It's got to the point where you can plug in at any level. I mean, you can pick produce, you can plant produce, you can grow produce, you can sort it, you can wash it, you can pass it out at the pantry, you can donate fertilome, potting soil for the greenhouse, any level you want to help donate. And then we also take cash.
Awesome. Kurt, it has been great talking to you. I know you actually have to go out and let the cows into the field so we can get this started. Thank you for taking a second here real quick. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I want to say quick thanks to our sponsors here really fast while we're in the interview room still. Thanks to Culver Duck Farm, located on County Road 10 in Middlebury. You can learn more at culverduck.com. Terry and Jim Parrish, real estate agents with Coldwell Banker. You can contact them at 574-286-8812 or homesbyparish@gmail.com. We also have the TJ21 Media Group to thank, thanking them for helping us make this event possible. You can learn more about TJ and his team at tj-21.com. And of course, thanks to Seed to Feed and Community Services. We have one more interviewer that's going to be joining us here really quick, and that is Tom MacArthur, Executive Director. Tom, thank you for taking time to chat with me. We heard a little bit just a second there ago from Kurt. Seed to Feed, 10 years in, it is your 10th anniversary. This has to feel like a pretty big occasion for you.
This is a big occasion. It's a cool testament to the community, really. For 10 years, we've been growing produce, and as Gabby said, it started with 2 gardens, and now we're at 22. And it talks about the community and the care level in the community of people who want to make sure that the people we serve are all getting the fresh produce that they should be getting. So.
Yeah, we talk about food pantries, and Kurt made a good point. In the past, it's been stores, donors, farmers. What's about to go bad? What can we send that can immediately go into people's bellies? That does not necessarily make for a healthy lifestyle. If people need help, that doesn't mean they shouldn't be getting healthy food.
Well, right, and here we come. That's the whole point of our program. So for months and months, and in fact, we even freeze, some of the produce, like our tomatoes. We freeze them and bring them out during the winter time for people to have they can thaw out and have fresh produce even in the middle of winter. So it's a great program for that.
It is fantastic. This is going to be kind of a loaded question, so answer it however you would like.
Okay.
What have you learned over the last 10 years running an organization and making things work like Seed to Feed? Because there has to have been quite a learning curve involved.
There's a lot of learning curve, and but what I've learned is if you present a program that makes some sense and helps people, it's amazing how many other people will join in to be part of it. It's from donors to the people who are willing to put their hands in the dirt and actually plant things. It's if you give them a good reason to be part of something that's meaningful, boy, they're all in, and this community is just all in.
I'm glad that you say that, because there's one thing that consistently I have said throughout the years. When the call goes out, Elkhart County comes together, and there are a lot of amazing people that want to do a lot of great work.
Top to bottom, yeah, right from the start with Kurt and Bert, and right from the start, it's we can't thank the donors and the sponsors enough. It's how many people we sold almost $10,000 worth of tickets just for the cow chip bingo. So it's a great example of how the community steps up for a fun cause but a meaningful cause.
Which, by the way, we're working on getting those cows going right now too. You know what I forgot to ask? I forgot to ask what the cows had for dinner. I'm gonna have to catch them. Or for lunch. I'm going to have to catch him back out on the field here as well.
Yes, you will.
So it is good to have you with us. Executive Director, I know that means that you're kind of the person in charge, but it's a group effort, right? Everyone's throwing it in.
Oh, absolutely.
What are you guys thinking about looking into the future? I mean, 2020 was a rough year. Making it to 2021 was an accomplishment in and of itself. So what's coming up for Seed to Feed?
One of the things we're looking at very seriously is opening a kitchen, a training kitchen, because we have a lot of people who take our fresh produce and yet don't quite know what to do with, like an eggplant or a certain squash or whatever. And so we've interviewed a lot of them, and they're saying, we would love to have a class on this. And so we're very seriously thinking about next year opening up a training room with some cooking materials so that we can be actually educating people on how to prepare these foods. So.
And there are a lot of organizations that might be willing to help you with that too.
I think so.
So let's toss that out real quick. People who want to be a part of Seed to Feed, people who want to donate to Seed to Feed, how do they do that?
It's church. Seed to Feed is a part of Church Community Services. So send in your support to Church Community Services with, on the memo line, Seed to Feed. And we'll take it from there.
And you'll whatever help it is, I mean, you guys are going to find a way to use it as best as you possibly can.
Absolutely.
Well, I got to say, it has been great to chat with you, Tom. Looking forward to seeing the cows out there working. Looking forward to seeing what you guys do in the future.
Me too.
And we'll be chatting here pretty quick.
Okay.
So
thanks.
thank you very much.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it. I think that means by now that the cows are outside and ready to go. So let's get a shot to the field. I'm going to go out and wander around, and we'll continue our coverage for Cow Chip Bingo and Church Community Services and Seed to Feed. We'll look forward to catching up with you in just a second. Welcome back to Cow Chip Bingo. Appreciate you sticking with us there for a short break as we are moving from the interviews to the cows. As you can clearly see, they are out and about and having a lot of fun, actually very spirited. I have not actually been able to identify which cow is which. We're going to be going out to the field here in a little bit and chatting with Kurt Bullard, who is the farmer who owns the cows. Yes, protest indeed. And we're going to see who's who and get the rundown on all of them here quick enough, but wanted to take a second to explain exactly what is happening. Now that, by the way, does not count. We are going for chips only, although maybe one precludes the other, so we could see a little bit of action here early as they are going through bingo. Now, if we go to the drone shot really quick, we can see that there is a grid outline on this entire field. Now, each one of these grid squares represents a number that someone has purchased. So for those of you that are watching at home and you're wondering how I could get involved in this sweet cow chip action, it's a little bit too late. You're gonna have to wait until next year. But for those of you that did buy in, you're looking pretty good. So it's as simple as this. Wherever the cow goes is whoever wins. It's pretty much that simple. We have 250 individual squares, and how much the person wins depends on whose square gets the first action. Someone watered the cows a little bit too much before we got started today. So let's go down the list of goals here. I should say prizes real quick. Let's say your cow goes first. You're going to get $1,500 directly to you. And it's just that simple. If the cow goes in your square, I don't know if they're going to send you a check or give you cash, but it's not going to come in the form of cow chips. It's a poker joke. Second place winner is going to get $750, and the third place winner is going to get $350. As we heard Tom mention, if you were with us early to start things on, he said that they raised about $10,000, a little bit more than, as they were just getting the squares. So that is an amazing accomplishment, and it's all going to a great organization with Seed to Feed. All right, and so with that, let's go over to the board here real quick, and we're going to get a good look at exactly how it is laid out. So For those of you that are familiar with Elkhart County, we are actually at the corner of County Road 17 and County Road 14, Middlebury and County Road 17. And it is laid out on a north to south grid pattern. So where everything starts off would be in the upper northeast corner. There are a couple of these that are closed out for various reasons, but the other ones are going to be open. So basically from one, starting at the top of the northeast corner, all the way down and then back to the side and all the way back. So for example, let's say you are number 120, you're pretty close to the center. If you keep going, 199 is all the way down there, 206. We're going to talk about this a whole lot more. We're going to go back over here. So as we get a good look at the board, things are moving along. I'm getting a lot of action on this side. Seems that the cows are going. We have our first one? Okay, that didn't take long. See, what did I say? You got one cow going and suddenly you've got to stop. So I'm going to walk away from the board real quick. And we're going to find our way out to the square and we'll be right back. Got it staked, and I think official results. Gabby's not on the microphone, so you'll have to stand here pretty close to me as we look into here. But what is the word on our first dropping of the day?
Well, it happened from one of our little calves.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love it.
And it's super cute. We are working on exactly what number because we have to count it. So far, we're thinking it's 5 up and 8 over. So now we have to go to the board and figure out what number that is.
5 up and 8 over. I don't know if we've got a close shot on the board, but we'll try and figure it out. The mathematicians are hard at work. That's exactly how this goes. Is that a record? Is that a record amount of time for the first one?
Oh, for sure. Last time it took about 20-25 minutes, and this time I think, at least since we let the cow out, it's been a few.
Okay, I would say that maybe the cows don't like the cold any more than we do.
I completely agree.
Because it is absolutely freezing outside right now. That is for certain. So we're working on get it there. If the camera wants to look right over there, you've got 2 of the guys standing by and getting the stake on there. The cows seem pretty active. We actually had a little bit of, well, it wasn't a lot of number 2 action, but number 1 to start things out. And like I said, one gets the other, and here we are already with our winner trying to figure it out. Kevin's going to be, or rather, Kurt's going to be walking back towards us, and we're just going to be waiting for number 2 and number 3. So we're going to take a break, or I will step away from the microphone for a second, and with that, we will come back to see if we can get a 2nd or 3rd place winner. Again, thank you for joining us out here for the Cow Chip Bingo for today's event, Seed to Feed, and supporting everyone. We are very thankful for all of you. are back in front of the board because we have our first cow chip bingo winner of the day. Don't turn it off, though, even if it's not you. We still have 2 more to go. And to give us the rundown on who won, we are bringing Gabby back into it. Gabby, who's our first winner?
Okay, well, first, I'm going to kind of walk you through it real quick. The cow did 5 up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 8 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our winner is $184 for $1,500.
$1,500 to square number 184. By the way, if you heard us talking about it in the field too, it was one of the little baby cows.
It was so cute.
That picked our first winner. Maybe that's why you introduced the baby cows, because they're a little less impatient than some of the adult ones are. We got it quick, and I know you know who the winner is.
Yeah, so I looked on our sheet, and it looks like the winner is Barb Nelson.
Barb Nelson. Now, we don't have an address for Barb,
I know.
so she's somewhere close. But Barb, thank you for supporting Seed to Feed. You are $1,500 richer. You're going to find out here pretty quick. They're going to get in touch with you, and we'll be able to get that prize out there for you. There is still a 2nd and 3rd place prize to go.
Yes.
The cows are still out in the field.
Still
as you can see on the feed, so we've got plenty more to go. Circle number 184 is officially off the table. You know what's funny is I think I had mentioned earlier circle number 180 just kind of out of the blue. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to go somewhere in here. So 33, 34, 35, or maybe the early 50s.
Ooh.
That's my prediction for the next one.
We'll see.
So we'll see. All right, we're going to go back out to the field with the other cows. Still 2nd and 3rd place to go. We'll be right back. And just as soon as we finish the others, we have this one. Yeah, I wouldn't be exactly thrilled about being on camera right now either. Who has dropped our next... I gotta really be careful how I say these things. And we have got the spotters out there. Oh no! Oh no! It's on the line! What are we gonna do? Okay, now hold on, I'm thinking here. I'm looking at the general outline. I want to be John Madden, and boom, right there. But it looks like because of the shape, we're going to get more on one than we are on the other. You got to love having drone footage these days. And they're having that debate now out there trying to figure out exactly who it's going to go to. I wonder if I was right. How close would I have been? I think I was actually kind of close with my prediction.
Kurt Bullard is going out there right now to kind of help them determine which one is going to be the winner.
These cows are just ready to go. I don't know what Kurt fed them, but whatever it was, it appears to have been the right solution for today. You can actually see the busy road right out there where all the cars are driving past. So I can't believe we've got number 2 already. We've actually still got Gabby here with us. So Gabby, 1-2 right off the board pretty quickly. So that means they get a prize themselves too.
Yeah. So our second place is $750. So whoever had that square just won themselves a pretty good prize right now.
So we'll go ahead and do the broadcaster's tease. Stay with us. Keep watching. We're going to do the cow pie math. Can't believe that's something I've ever have to say. And we'll let you know who the winner is here in just a second. All right, guys, so if you've been watching, you know that we have our second winner already, literally just moments after we got done announcing who the first one is. Before we get that second winner, I want to thank our sponsors really quick. All of this is for Seed to Feed. We really appreciate everyone involved. All of you that bought squares, some of you that are going to come out with a little bit more money today, but we also want to say thank you to the corporate sponsors who have helped us out. Culver Duck Farms, they're right there at County Road 10 in Middlebury. You can check out culverduck.com. Terry and Jim Parrish, they're real estate agents with Coldwell Banker. You can find out more by calling them 574-286-8812. It's a difficult home market to navigate right now. You need someone good on your side, so give them a call. Also to the TJ21 Media Group, they've helped make a lot of this possible, and they're really doing a fantastic job of making sure that all of this is looking as good as it possibly can. Check them out, tj21.com. And again, thank you to all of you, because every cent that you donate means more fresh food in the mouths of those who need it. So we are back here with Director of Seed to Feed, Gabby Parrish, with winner number 2, lucky number 2, quite literally in this case. All right, Gabby, what do we got?
Okay, so this time our cow decided, if you were watching, to go literally on the line. So
Yeah,
we had
that
our
was
judges
hard.
out there who were debating about which one, and we feel pretty good about this.
So there is no controversy. What are the judges' qualifications?
Well, one of them, is the owner of the cow
Okay,
and of the farm.
that's good enough to
And
know.
the other two are great volunteers and
Okay.
very honest.
They've spent a lot of time staring at piles.
Yeah, I would say so.
okay.
In gardening, you're always around
gardening too.
manure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everyone's done waiting. Who's the winner?
Okay, so we are actually 6 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 5 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 162 is our second winner for $750, and I have an even more exciting news.
Yes.
Found out who is the owner of that ticket, and that ticket is Barb Fridley, who is one of our longtime volunteers at CCS. She has helped many of our different programs. She inputs a lot of data for us, and her husband George Fridley has also repaired our greenhouse many times, and it's so exciting.
That is really exciting. That is very exciting. First of all, another Barb. This isn't the same Barb that won the first time, right?
No, not the same one.
Okay.
But, Barb is a pretty lucky name today.
I was gonna say, if any of you are named Barb and you bought a square, good job. Your odds just went up. You're 2 for 2 so far. Again, lucky number 2. So actually, let's take a second and talk about volunteers. Cameras can cut to the cows. They can walk them wandering around. Let's talk about the people who are actually supporting Seed to Feed and are making everything work. What's a volunteer doing with Seed to Feed?
So they're doing a lot of different things. The majority of our volunteers are hands-on working in the garden fields. Our gardens are all volunteer-led. This year we've had over 300 volunteers help
amazing.
in the 22 gardens. It's incredible. This program is actually just run by volunteers. It was started by volunteers. It's initiated by volunteers. And I just try to help them all communicate together. But that's about, they are absolutely amazing.
So they're literally planting and tilling and taking care of the whole property?
Yeah. A volunteer goes out and tills, another volunteer plants, another volunteer, or sometimes the same volunteers,
Yeah.
harvest, bring them to the food pantry, help wash the produce, help bag the produce if we need to bag it, help do weird fundraisers like this, and they're their heart and soul.
And you don't have to be an experienced gardener or farmer to volunteer to be able to help.
No, I mean, if you're interested in volunteering, please reach out to our Seed to Feed at churchcommunityservices.org and send me an email. I'd love to get you involved. We are actually in need of a few more, if there is someone who's experienced, we are in need of a few more production gardens to help us grow
Okay.
more produce. So if you feel like you are interested in leading that, let us know.
I will offer my help however I can. You don't want me touching anything that grows. I have very much a brown thumb, which in today's case would be a good thing.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, all right. Let's go back out to the cows. Gabby, thanks. We'll be back hopefully with winner number 3 here pretty quick. All right, and we are back here in the field with Kurt Bullard. Kurt, your cows have performed quite well.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. We got one more to go.
Already off the table here. So I got to ask, because I've been doing interviews and I haven't had a chance to look, of these cows that are behind us, which are the ones that have gone? Do you know,
Yes,
just by looking at them?
The one on the right.
Okay, so the one on the right, and that is?
Peace.
Peace.
And then the first calf on the left has also.
Okay, the one that's still the right.
Right.
Fuzziest of the two of them.
And the question is,
Okay.
are we looking for one that hasn't gone yet, or are we looking for one to repeat? And no one knows that for sure.
No one knows that. Okay, so here's the question I didn't get an answer to earlier. What have the cows been eating for the last 24 hours?
They've had hay, and then of course pasture grass, and then I give them a little grain every day. Just
A little bit of
they're
grain.
spoiled.
So what you're saying is that they've all had plenty of fiber.
They've all had plenty of. The rumens are working.
The rumens are working. So while we're out here again, let's talk about seed to feed for a second.
Sure.
You know, back when you guys were getting everything started 10 years ago, you walked us through a little bit of the early phases, you know, making the right connections. Hey, that's great. You meet everyone has the idea, but how do you get down to deciding where you're going to get going, and what's the first step?
I put out a garden, and then we had a person, Jerry Hilstetler, had some ground on County Road 36, and he got involved in the program, and he offered his ground for a garden. And the 3 things that are needed for any garden are someone in charge, and a volunteer base, because somebody's got to do the work, and then water.
Water.
Water is a big key on any type of vegetable production or crop production.
You know, and you know, as a regular farmer yourself, you know, you got a lot on your hands already.
This is fun, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say
This
it's
is
like
fun.
between the actual fertilizing and the planting and the tilling and everything else. I mean, how do you find time for all of it?
This one of the real unintended pleasures was that not only we're producing food for the pantry guests, but we're also a lot of the volunteers became educated. I mean, there was people that had no clue how to pick a green bean or a cantaloupe or a pepper or what to do with a turnip or everything. So I mean, it's educated the entire community.
Well, hopefully people are learning a little bit about cow pies today. We're gonna let them go out and wander back in the fields. Thank you for kind of giving us a good shot here and telling us more about them.
Thanks, Carl.
All right, we'll be back. And back here to the board, we don't have our third winner just yet. The cows are percolating. Sure, we'll go with that. They're kind of trying to work something up right now. Figured it'd be a good time to get back in here and talk with Gabby. Yeah, I've said dumber things before, but that's probably pretty high up there. What's interesting to me with your program is we've talked about how much it's grown. You mentioned the fact that you guys have tenth pulled, I don't know what the actual term is, multiplied by more than 10 the number of gardens that you're currently operating. One of the other things you do is involving teens and students from around the area. So tell us about your teen growers.
Yeah, so one thing that's very important to us is not just growing the produce, but also educating our community and how they can be food insecure by growing their own food. And so we do that, one of the ways we do that at least is through our teen grower internship that began in 2019, where we had 9 high school students come out and learn how to grow their own food, where it comes from, how the food system works, how to serve their community, working in the gardens as well as the food pantry. And then that has grown now from one group of 9, and now we do 3 sessions a year.
Wow.
And we've served over 32, partnered with over 32 high school students. It's a paid internship, and it's just so much fun. And it's so exciting to see students who maybe have never held a plant in their life to students who want to be in agriculture when they grow up, and all different in between, learning together and serving together.
That's not an internship opportunity that a lot of high school students are going to get. And, frankly, by the time you get a chance to do that, you're well into college or probably an adult running your own farm, usually when you're getting that sort of experience. Where did that start? Where did the idea come from? How far into the operations did you guys start your teen growers?
So we started in 2019, and it was started by previous C2F coordinator Chelsea Rizzer. So she had a huge passion for educating the community, because we can serve our neighbors by giving them food when they're hungry, but how much more of an impact is it to be able to serve them by teaching them themselves how they can grow their food? And that's where she was kind of stopping the food insecurity before it even happens.
How about the students themselves? What do they say when it's all said and done? What's the feedback you get from them?
Well, we actually did a live stream on our Facebook page earlier this week, if anybody wants to go watch it.
Okay.
The live stream was with one of our teen growers, Eliza DeBeck, and she talks about her experience. She said that if you are interested in any kind of agriculture whatsoever, that as well as want to make friends or serve your community, learn where a plant comes from, or not where where fruit comes from. Oh!
Yeah, okay, hold on. We just got the third one. Not to interrupt you, we'll talk about teen growers more in just a second. You've got to run and go figure this out. So
Yes,
you
I
go
do.
do that. We'll take a break. I'm going to say thank you to our sponsors real quickly here. Culver Duck Farm, thank you very much for helping support it. Go live to the cows. Don't keep the camera on me. The Culver Duck Farm is located at County Road 10 in Middlebury. You can learn more at culverduck.com. Terry and Tim Parrish, we appreciate your support as well. Real estate agents with Coldwell Banker. You can contact them to buy or sell. It's a tough market right now. You definitely need some help. 574-286-8812. Their email, homesbyparish@gmail.com. And the TJ1 Media Group. Thank you for helping us throughout the event and making this look as amazing and as professional as possible, because we all know we're out here watching, and we appreciate the extra effort. And of course, thank you to all of you that are watching. One of you is $300 richer here with third place. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back. We're going to figure out who the last winner is. And yeah, I'm excited about it. We'll see where this one landed, per se. And just like that, the Cow Chip Bingo event is over. We officially have our final winner. We are back, and I have to say, I'm excited about this one. We both know what's going down here and what you have to announce. But who is our third and final winner, and how did it finish out?
Okay, so our third and final winner is 6 over and 5 up, which is 180. And this is very exciting. Oh, I'm not holding a mic.
Okay. We can still hear you. Okay, you're good. You can keep going. It's fine.
Okay, sorry about that. This makes it even more exciting. Is that we've had 2 Barbs win, right? 2 Barbs, and And this time it happens to also be a Barb, and it is Barb Fridley again.
Again. So we have to explain how this works for the rules so no one thinks at home that there is some sort of malfeasance.
Yeah, so the rules, you can buy as many tickets as you would like. Barb bought multiple, and because of that, she won multiple times.
So Barb won our $750 prize for second place, lucky number 2, and then the third place prize. So Barb is going to get $1,050 of her own.
That is correct.
That is amazing how it works out. And as we talked about before, Barb is one of your volunteers and one of the people that keeps your organization going. That's amazing. Final thoughts on the whole proceedings, because this was interesting to watch. Maybe not as intense as some of the other sporting events you'll watch, but you're not going to catch this anywhere else.
Yeah, I will say, first of all, thank you to all the volunteers who helped put this fundraiser together. It was amazing. Just the excitement that was here was just so much fun, and the laughter that was had. Dwight Fish and John Weaver and Abby Utterback, Beth and Kurt Bullard. There's so many people. If I did not thank you so much.
And the Oscar goes to.
And the Oscar goes to Church Community Services,
go.
where our program is a part of Church Community Services. We could not exist without them. We're a part of them. They serve. Because of them, we can serve so many people, but also they serve in a variety of different ways, such as food pantry, as well as financial services, as well as a women's empowerment program. It's amazing to be a part of them.
Church Community Services does so much. Just their reach is incredible. Their generosity is incredible. What they give back to the community is absolutely incredible. We could spend a ton of time talking about that, but I think the cows are ready to get back inside. The other thing we want to talk about is a special thanks to everyone who is represented by this board. These are just numbers, but there are some fantastic names and some very generous hearts behind all of these.
Yeah, and I mean, the cow did have a favorite spot, obviously.
Apparently.
Last year it was like way over here, and so we never know what's going to happen, but they did have a favorite spot this time. Thank you so much for everyone supporting us, and thank you so much for everyone serving your community and feeding each other.
You hit the goal.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. We got to talk about that before we guys go. You guys had a goal, $10,000. You didn't just hit it. You went past it.
Yeah, we did go past our $10,000 goal. It was awesome even watching it happen. We were, there's that thrill of like, are we almost there? Are we almost there? And we did that this week. So up until the last moment, we were wondering, and it was because of all of our supporters. And that money will just go right back into helping support our Teen Growers program and feeding the community.
Well, thank you very much for everything you've done, Gabby. It's been great to sit down and talk to you and get to know everyone. It was great to chat with you, and I'm looking forward to it again next year. So thank you. Before we go, one more shout out to our sponsors, because again, part of that $10,000, a lot of it came from them, helped us out. We'll start things off with Culver Duck Farm. Everyone knows Culver Duck is the best duck you can get. And actually what's funny is I've lived in a couple places in Indiana. It's amazing how many people know Culver Duck. They're located County Road 10, Middlebury. Best spot to get their stuff, culverduck.com. They've got some great things there. Terry and Jim Parrish, real estate agents with Coldwell Banker. It's a really difficult time in the housing market right now. Things are super complicated. You need someone good on your side. Give them a call, 574-286-8812. Again, that's Terry and Jim Parrish. You can check them out at homesbyparish.com, and to TJ1 Media Group, who's been helping us do all of this, and it looks fantastic. TJ21.com is the website. It's the TJ21 Media Group. Sorry, I said that wrong the first time. And then again, Church Community Services and everyone else. We're super thankful. So that's it for us. For Gabby, for Seed to Feed, for Church Community Services, for the cows, who I am sure are a couple pounds lighter by now, thank you so much. We'll look forward to seeing you guys again next year. Buy those tickets next time.